Hi there, welcome to the Nomadic Owl Oracle. This is my second month to do readings, so please bear with me for the quality of this video. I am working on getting these better and making sure that it's a clearer visual that you would be seeing for these videos. This is going to be the month of February 2019. Keep in mind that timing is fluid, so whenever you're watching this video would be when it would apply to your current circumstances. So it could be for the past, the present, or the future. This is going to be for the zodiac sign of Aries. It is a general read, so it's not going to be efficient for everybody. It is for whoever it resonates with. There will be lots of viewers, so there's no way to pinpoint it for you specifically. If you would like to contact me later regarding a personal read, please feel free to do so. I do want to let you know that prior to me starting my videos, I go ahead and pray, meditate over the cards, and do my normal ritual before I start the reading. I do like to shuffle ahead of time so I can sit with the cards and sit with the energy to see what I pick up. Also, there are going to be times that I might cuss in the reading. I just want to let you know that. I'm being completely honest with you. If that's not your thing, then please click off. I'm doing my best to give you the best messages I possibly can and whatever information I'm given at that time. So before I get started, what I'm going to let you do, or let you know, excuse me, is the first thing is what I'll give you is the general overall energy of the month. And then from there, I will read you the cards as to what will be going on or what steps you need to take at that time. And then the final energy of the whole thing, okay, to wrap it all together. Now, do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so it's not going to be specific for, any specific thing like love, finances, career, or whatever like that. Take it as it resonates to you. If it doesn't resonate with you, please check your sun, moon, and rising sign. That can be found on Google or on Cafe Astrology. I apologize, I do have animals, so that's my cat Ayana in the background. Sometimes they like to make an appearance, so there's Ayana. I have limited space here, guys. So anyways, for your cards, I did pull from two different decks today. So the first deck that I'm using is the Myth and Mermaids. And the second deck that I'm using is the Oracle of the Mermaids. And the reason I chose these cards is it is the month of February, so it's going to pertain to love, romance, passion, things like that. So I felt like these would be a good deck to use overall for that kind of reasoning. So for the first card that you have for the overall energy of the month, I'm giving you my intuitive take. Then I will read from the book the actual meanings to give you the most information into this situation, okay? So it's the Golden Mermaid. So when she comes into the circumstance, what she's symbolizing is maybe you're feeling just stagnant. You're not happy with your current circumstances. You're trying to move forward, but you just feel burned out. You feel just like things are not how you would like them to be. You're bored. You're just kind of apathetic, maybe, just not where you want to be or not where you pictured yourself as being. So you're trying to figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to move forward, and what steps you need to take. The next overall energy that you have for the month is going to be the Stardust Angel. So she is someone that you would have in your life that you look up to, like a role model or a person that has a lot of wisdom, a person that has a lot of knowledge, that's probably been where you've been before, that's willing to give you advice and help you to be better and help you get out of the current circumstances. So when this card pops up, what it's saying to you is it's time for you to seek out the guidance that you need at this time. Since you're in a place where you're feeling stagnant and you're not moving forward, having help and having an outsider give you their personal advice will be very beneficial to you at this time. The next card that we have for what's going on during the month is the Sacrifice card. And what it says is there are those worth making and there are those that will destroy you. So what this card is saying to you, sorry guys, my nose itches is like crazy. What this card is saying to you guys is that right now you're considering doing something that might be a huge sacrifice. And you're trying to see if it's worth you taking that step, taking that leap to make that happen. It's warning you, though, to make sure that you fully investigate, that you fully study the situation before you move forward and take any steps. That might be where this person that is older than you or this person that's been through this experience would come in to be able to give you that advice. After that, you have the honor the masculine. So this card is saying respecting men, embracing the masculine divine. So, okay, not everybody that watches this is going to be a dude, and not everybody that watches this is going to be a girl. Okay, let's be real. What this is talking about is in anything, there is always a feminine and a masculine aspect to it, like the yin and the yang in a situation. There are parts of it that are more masculine, parts that are more feminine. Yeah, I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but it's the truth of a situation. With anything, there is always the light, the dark, whatever, and then there's the middle ground. So what this is saying is at this time, it's very important for you personally, as an Aries, to focus on your divine masculine characteristics. That would be more like the logical side of things, being more diplomatic, being able to be strengthened by things, being able to take charge when needed, being able to move in whatever direction you need to move without like letting your feelings steer you. You need to be more logical, more mind-based than heart and emotion-based, because sometimes our heart and emotion can really fuck us up. Let's be real about that. So, you know, it's not saying that having feelings and emotions is a bad thing. It's saying that you've got to find a balance between the two. The next card that you have is the magic of the Kohelen Druid, and it says caution, secrecy, and wary. However, it's in the reverse, guys. So this card is speaking of being able to know when you can trust someone or when you should be concerned about them and their motives. It's saying that you need to be aware of people's intentions, study their behavior, study their, actions that they've taken, the things that they've done. If it's not a person, maybe it's a job or something such as that you're thinking about taking a step towards. You need to make sure that you're finding all the information before you move forward. I mean, you do have the sacrifice card here, so maybe you're considering taking the step to do something and you haven't fully thought of the past or what you've been told about this certain situation or position or whatever the case may be. You're going to know because this reading is for you. It's not for me. It's just warning you to be honest with yourself, not to be in la la land, dreaming in your head or making up unrealistic scenarios or, an outcome. Just sometimes things aren't always black and white. Sometimes there's a gray area, like we were just talking about. You need to be aware of that. So you weigh your pros and cons, see the situation for what it is, and see if it's going to fit into what you're wanting your mold of your life to be. For the final outcome that you have for the month of February is fertility. It says potential, powerful creative energy, initiation energy. However, it's in the reverse. So when this card comes up in the reverse, what it's saying to you is you're blocking something on some level. It might be intentionally, it might not be intentionally, but you're not allowing something to grow, something to be fruitful, because maybe you are scared, maybe you're too proud, maybe you've had a bad experience in the past and you're not knowing how to move forward in a situation like this. Could be the case of what's going on. So with all this stuff, what I would highly suggest, since it is putting you in that situation, think before you leap, investigate the situation, research. I can't stress enough to you how important it is, because you don't want to put yourself in an even worse situation. Yes, you may not be happy with where things are or how they've been going and everything like that, but you want to be real with yourself and see the overall picture. So guys, that's my intuitive take on that. I am going to read from the decks what the actual meaning is of the cards to give you more information, because like I said, I am new to this. But I also want to make sure that I give you the most information for the cards to give you a wide variety of information. I want to help people. That is why I do these readings. So for the Golden Mermaid, I'm just trying to make sure you guys can see her. For the Golden Mermaid, it says, beware of complacency. It is easy to become complacent with one's situation and surroundings, but it is dangerous too. The status quo is simple to maintain, but ceasing to strive for more leads to stagnation. Even if you are not dissatisfied with your environment, do not be afraid to set goals and actively pursue them. Get out of your comfortable rut and push yourself forward. Stretch your mind, your body, and your boundaries to see what you can accomplish when you put your mind to it. You have been in the same place mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually for too long. It's time to move on to bigger and better places. Keep in mind, however, that no one around you may be prepared to or even interested in moving up with you. This may be a move that is yours alone. So what this is saying is you got to do what's right for you. If you're not happy with your current circumstances or the situation, you got to move forward to get to where you're wanting to be. There's going to be people that are cool with it and that want to help you, that want to be a part of it. And there's going to be people that don't want to be. You got to be okay with that. You got to understand that not all of us are on the same path. Not all of us want the same things. And that's when you got to be honest with yourself and see what it is that you need to do at this time. So for the next card that you have, which was the Stardust Angel, for that card, as the overall energy, it says, follow your guiding star. We all have someone in our lives that we look to as a role model, somebody who will guide us in times of trouble or uncertainty. Now is just such a time in your life, and it is in your best interest to turn to this person or to follow his or her example. Their wisdom, good sense, and strong moral compass are precisely why you need to get your own life back on your preferred path. So if you have somebody in mind or somebody that you look up to, somebody that knows a lot into the situation as to what you're planning on doing, now is the time to seek their advice, to seek their help so they can help you transition out of this phase into where you want to go. So that was from that deck, guys. And now I'm going to read from these other ones. So for Sacrifice, it says, there are those worth making and there are those that will destroy you. Bear with me one second, guys. Okay. So it says, you may be contemplating doing something that is a hardship or giving up something that is precious to you in order to demonstrate how important a third option is to you. Remember to make the choice to sacrifice, and that by doing so, you have made what has been offered up holy and made more sacred the goal that you're questing for. Make your sacrifices wise ones, though, and be sure to decide whether the sacrifice is the best path. Sometimes people make what they think are sacrifices because they feel others will view them in a certain way, and by doing so, they've become martyrs. I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Okay, and they become martyrs and wish only to be viewed as good. Remove this from your thinking. See whether you truly wish one thing or another. And then when you make the choice, it is freely given, then you have truly made something sacred. The whole process has become divine in its nature, and the reward in the space and clearing you have created into which the great good can be poured. You will be blessed, for you have blessed the world with your offering. So what this is saying is that you need to make sure that before you do what you're doing, that you truly want something before you take a step towards it. Because sometimes things might seem better than what they actually are, or sometimes you might think they're worse than what they actually are. So you need to do this research, sit and think, ask for advice, seek the knowledge that you're looking for to be able to figure out what it is that you need to do at this time. After this, guys, you had the honor the masculine. And what that stands for is respecting men, embracing the masculine divine. So this card says, when this card comes to speak to you, if you are a man, it is time to understand, embrace, and truly honor the expression of your masculinity. Think back to your childhood and your youth before you were told who you are and what it is to be a man. By your culture and by your family and through your schooling and relationships. Who are you? Consider the possibility that your own masculinity has been constructed to protect you. Perhaps some aspects of what you have been taught have created sadness, shame, and may even have ensured you missed out on a full and authentic experience as a man so far. Men are sensitive, men are sacred, men are gods, and the powerful insight of the merfolk can show you how to go deeply into the way your gender has shaped your destiny in this lifetime. The merfolk encourage you to reshape it into the form that expresses who you truly are and not who you were taught to be. Okay, so what this is saying, if you're a man, it's okay to have feelings. It's okay to express how you feel. It's okay to cry if you need to cry. It's okay to not always be strong, to not always be certain and so just dead set on being masculine. It's okay. We all have divine feminine and masculine in our lives that are part of us, that are supposed to be shown. You know, some of us are better at balancing those, some of us aren't, you know. I mean, there are times I'm a divine feminine, obviously, I'm a girl, right? But there are times that I'm more masculine than I am feminine. If you're a woman and this reading is for you, and you're very feminine because you were taught you had to be feminine and you had to do this and you had to do that because you're a girl, this is talking about balancing that out to make you more comfortable, to make you feel like you are truly who you are supposed to be. Don't let anybody shame you for being who you truly are. You are the person that you're supposed to be, and don't let people hold you back. You know, sometimes our society says this or that about people because they don't understand or they're frightened by it or whatever. Fuck that. All right, man. You have to be who you truly are because you're never going to be authentic and you're never going to be happy if you're always trying to live your life by everybody else's guidelines. I learned that a long time ago. I used to hide that I did tarot readings. I used to hide that I was like into shamanic things, that I was more of a pagan type person, that I loved Native American spirituality because I'm Native. You know, people acted like I was crazy because I didn't believe what they believed, and I burned sage and I love crystals and all that. You know, I was always called satanic. I was called a witch, all this crazy shit that just was very offensive. But looking at it in retrospect, it was because people were scared of me. They were scared because they didn't understand. So if that's what you're going through at this time, don't let that bother you. You have to be your true self, who you really are, and the right people will gravitate to you and in your life. I'm sorry if I got a little bit preachy there, guys, but I do want to say that because I don't want anybody to feel like they can't be who they truly are. I was not my true self until probably the age of 30. You know, I denied myself. I denied my abilities. I denied who I was. I tried to pretend I didn't do this and I didn't do that to make other people happy. But what I found, guys, was the more I tried to make everybody else happy and I wasn't doing what I truly wanted to do, I was very unhappy. So I had to take back the power. And that's what you're having to do in this situation. You become complacent. You've been put in a situation where you feel trapped. Like you're just like, this is not what I wanted and I want to move forward. So you got to find your own path. You have to do what's right for you. When you seek out this advice, maybe you're doing it through meditation. Maybe you're doing it through praying. Maybe you're asking a friend or a teacher or whatever the case may be. Sit with yourself and be honest, okay? So sorry about that, guys. I just felt like I needed to tell you that. And that's something I'm really passionate about because I don't feel like anybody should have to try to be something they're not for everybody else to feel comfortable. I think that's silly. We should all be able, even if we don't agree with something, to honor somebody as they truly are. So the next card that you have is the Magic of the Kohellan Druid. It says caution, secrecy, and wary. However, you had it in the reverse. And I'm sorry if you hear my cat in here. Give me 1 second. Kenai. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. He gets really crazy. He was in the cat box and he's going to scratch for like 20 minutes. So I had to stop him. Okay. So for this card, since it's in the reverse, it says refusing to acknowledge or even contemplate how what you wear and what you move and dress and be sends unmistakable signals to others. Trying to hide or camouflage rather than express who you are and thus conveying only your fears and your hesitancies. Meros are often seen with sharks, gentling them and dissuading them from being too vigilant in their policy activities. Meros ensure that sharks use their authority and patrolling capacity in ways that are just. Even so, Meros know just when to avoid a shark. Meros also swim, with gray sills, playing with the pups and teaching them how to fish and fend for themselves, and which fishermen to avoid. When this card is reversed, it's time to wonder whether you have given too much power over to what frightens or once frightened you. So maybe it's saying at this time is that you have allowed circumstances or people or places, maybe a job, your career, your finances, whatever the case may be, to dictate where you are right now. And where you are right now is not where you intend it to be. So it's time to step out of this and move forward into what you want. You have to start taking the steps. You're an Aries. Aries are very strong. They're very driven. They're very intelligent from what I've gathered and what I've experienced. I know several of them. They're very passionate. So your passion has died out because of whatever the circumstance is, and it's time to get that back. It's time to be yourself again. And then the last card, guys, that you had for the month as the overall outcome, it says potential, powerful, creative energy, initiation energy, fertility. So that's in the reverse, guys. So with that being in the reverse, it's going to be a little bit different than what it would normally be. I mean, obviously. But it says barren, no inspiration, trying and sowing seeds that refuse to shoot. A garden has died. There may be issues with fertility. You may be wishing to bring forth a child, conceive a baby, and there may have been issues of some type about your ability to do so. You may need to create a healing diet and series of exercises to support and nurture your own physical fertility and adapt and change. Inquire about natural alternatives to help create hormonal balance and receptivity to the physical promotion of new life. You may also need to believe and seek out alternative ideas regarding financing a new idea and business opportunity. The time may not yet be right. After some more exploration and some working on your own health and wellness, the body, the grounds for your growth of the new will be rich, fertile, and full of all that will be needed to support and sustain your new life. You have not enough energy at this time to create a new. First, focus on building up and creation of a great deal of new healthy energy, and then let it flow forth into the creation and realization of a dream. Be it a babe, new project, creative idea, or nurturing someone you care for. So it's saying at this time that the circumstances that blocked you from being able to be fruitful, being able to move forward in the direction that you're wanting to, being able to produce what you're trying to produce. So you're going to have to start taking steps to live a healthier life, to be more authentic, to be more compassionate towards yourself, more caring for yourself. And, maybe that's hard. Maybe you have commitments to other people or places or your job or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of taking you away from who you truly are. Now is the time to take back the power, to get back to where you want to be, to find that passion, to find that drive that you have, and be an Aries and push forward and make these things happen. You are one of the strongest signs that I've ever met. And, seeing this kind of reading for an Aries, that's kind of sad to me, man. I have a lot of friends that are Aries, and if any of you guys, have any questions about this or have any insight that you need into this as far as how to move forward, I would highly suggest, researching it, but also meditate, go hiking, go sit outside in nature, try to take salt baths, try to do things that still your mind, get your mind off of all the other stuff and focus in on what you're trying to bring in. Do affirmations until it makes you feel better about it. Do things that make you feel good about yourself, that make you feel like you are who you want to be. Believe it. And when you believe it and you constantly hold that image in your mind, it will help you rectify this and get that going in your life. So guys, I hope that you get all this situated. I hope that you have a great month. Also, keep in mind, like I said, this was a general reading. If you would like a personal reading, please feel free to send me a message on here or contact me on my Facebook page, which is the Nomadic Owl Oracle. I offer 8-card spread readings for $20. I hope that you guys have a great month, and I look forward to seeing you in March. Bye.